Warning: this video deals with a lot of heavy topics, so if you feel uncomfortable about those, then
Now get out.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this, bro? Why the fuck is this in Turkish? The fuck? The world must know. If God still liked us, this creature wouldn't exist. But unfortunately, God left a long time ago, around the time this was created. You gave all our money to Dogman. Please, let me out, please. I should actually start this off by saying that I'm not gonna get every single thing correct. You know, I'm not perfect at Dogman lore, so of course I'm gonna get some things wrong. But you know what I said to that?
Go fuck yourself.
Dogman is a children's book written and illustrated by Dave Pilkey. It is about a police officer and a dog who are fused together in a life-saving surgery, making, well, Dogman. And I liked it. Hell, I loved it. I'm itching to read it again. I used to read the same Dogman book in class all the time, and recently I've got some of the other ones. I found downloads of some online. And I decided, hey, there's no good YouTube video explaining all the characters, so I should do it. I should do that. Why, you may ask? Because every time I get up and look into the mirror, the only emotions I get are shame, disgust, suicidal ideation, and Dogman. Now let's start. I'm getting hungry. Side note, I'm not going to go through each book one by one. I'm going to go through every single character, well, every single major character, and, try to explain their backstory a little bit. Now, in universe, Dogman is a series of comics made by two children named George and Harold, who are also the creators of Captain Underpants. Dogman takes place after George and Harold made Captain Underpants, but I lied. Dogman was actually before Captain Underpants. After Captain Underpants, they found the old Dogman books and decided to remake them. Now, this comic is where Dogman starts, so we're going to talk about Dogman, who is two characters fused into one, Officer Knight and Greg the dog. While Petey was scheming, he decides to put a bomb in the city. Officer Knight, being the dumbass he is, decides to take the dog's advice and cut the color that it suggests. Dogs are colorblind. And that's how they end up like this. Officer Knight's head is dying, and Greg the dog's body is dying. Now the nurses, being so ever graceful and smart, decides to do something crazy. They play God and make a new life. Meet Dogman, Greg the dog's head on Officer Knight's body. That's almost never brought up ever again, really. Like, after this point, they just treat him like a fucking dog with legs and a body. There's not much about Dogman after this, really, except for his arch rival, Petey the cat. Petey the cat is a super genius and the world's evilest cat. Now, why is he the world's evilest cat? Childhood trauma. But to talk about his child trauma, first we have to talk about his parents. We're going to talk about Grace first, since there's not much about her. All we know about Grace is that in the past, she used to play the ukulele and later gave it to Petey. During Petey's life, she was very kind and caring to him, often forgiving him for his many angry outbursts. Grace passed away early in Petey's life due to an illness that she had, which is something that devastated Petey and something that contributed to him becoming evil. Now let's get to Grampa, since there's a lot more to talk about him and it leads directly to Petey. What we do know about Grandpa's past is that he used to be a groovy disco king. It is also the reason why Petey's tail is flat. There's no direct cause that was mentioned in the comics, but all we do know is that Grandpa has something to do with it. After Grandpa married Grace and after Petey was born, he later abandoned both of them, taking all their money and assets with it, which meant he was the breadwinner of the family. What the fuck was his job? IT? Grandpa. Fix my Adobe Media Encoder. Now, even though we don't know how Grace and Grandpa met, we do know why they married each other. It got explained in the, as I'm recording this, the latest book in the Dogman series, Big Jim Begins. So spoilers if you haven't read that yet. But it basically explains how Grandpa proposed to Grace. And there's no real good way for me to tell this, so I'll just show it.
A few years ago, when I was a disco groovy king, I stepped out one fateful knife. Then suddenly, a beam of light pierced the sky, and a UFO appeared. It landed. And then, a door opened.
What's up, Earth Dude? I'm like on this epic mission, looking for a cutie pie. Who's gonna save the universe, bruh?
What are you talking about?
This little girl, man. She's like the chosen one. And I've been cruising the cosmos trying to find her. She's gonna need help on her tubular quest. So I got her this ring. It's called the Ring of Destiny and stuff.
Gee, that's a sweet ring. Say, I know where that kid lives. Why don't you give the ring to me? And I'll give it to her.
Really, dude? Whoa, that's totally righteous, buddy. Oh, and give her this note too. And tell her, may the cosmic vibes be with you, little sis. Okay, man, I'm gonna split. Later, Gator.
But I had other plans for that ring.
What other plans?
Well, I don't want to talk about it. It sucks. Sucks! Wildo's gonna hate this, and I'm gonna kill myself. I'm not good at this shit.
After his father had left him, Petey and his mother were pretty much left with nothing, and due to this, they weren't able to afford much either, which is why Petey had so many angry outbursts. When he entered adolescence, his mother tragically passed away due to an illness, which left him orphaned. At some point, he was acquired by Dr. Dilbert Dinkle, a criminal who appeared in Super Diaper Baby 2, The Invasion of the Potty Snatchers. Yes, that's right, Petey appeared in a different book, and it contributes to his story in Dogman. This shit was all over the place, bro, I'm telling you. Dr. Dinkle and Petey snuck into Jim's bank, taking a machine that transformed things into water. But Petey accidentally turned Dr. Dinkle into water, and then destroyed the machine on accident, which left Dr. Dinkle unable to return back to a human. But due to being made of water, Dr. Dinkle was able to sneak into the vault and steal all the money that he wanted. And due to being water, he didn't want to pay his water bill, which left Petey very thirsty. And Petey just decided to drink Dr. Dinkle. Trust me, don't think about it that hard, man. I tried one time and I was losing it. Just accept the fact he drank a guy who used to be a human that turned into water, alright? And after Petey drank him, he turned him into pee. And Petey began calling Dr. Dinkle Rip Van Tinkle. And due to Dr. Dinkle literally being urine, nobody wanted him in his store since he probably smelled like shit. Rip Van Tinkle put Petey in Robo Kitty 3000 before he evaporated into a cloud and rained piss droplets. Then the piss droplets broke into people's houses and steals toilets for Petey to destroy with the Robo Kitty 3000. The piss droplets then meshed together to reunite Rip Van Tinkle's body back into a urine. Petey then stole some diapers and sold them to people who got their toilets stolen. And when Rip Van Tinkle tried to take Petey's money, Petey just soaked him up with toilet paper. Petey killed the guy. Petey fucking killed the guy. When Super Diaper Baby and Diaper Dog tried to end the chaos, Petey just evolved the Robo Kitty to Super Mecha Kitty 3000. And so Super Diaper Baby flew away to buy catnip and pour it inside the robot's control seat, which made Petey fucking high as shit and fuck everything up, detaching Super Mecha Kitty 3000's head. And after this, Petey was sentenced to jail. Okay, we're going back to Dogman now. And you know what? Some credit to Petey. He tried. He tried to get his life back together. He tried to be a good person, he read anger management books, and when he got out, he tried to get a job, he tried to buy a house. Keyword is tried because he just got kicked out due to being a criminal. And due to this, he literally had no other choice but to become a villain, which led to him becoming the world's evilest cat. This leads into the second Dogman book, A Tale of Two Kitties. Yeah, that's the same fucking title as the second Garfield movie.
John, I need to get Dogman, John. I need to kill Dogman.
Oh, never mind. It was the third book, not the second one. The second one was Dogman Unleashed. That's a good pun. I like that.
Yeah, I think I like that.
In A Tale of Two Kitties, Petey was trying to make a clone of himself to get a new butler, but it failed and Lil Petey was the result. Lil Petey is what Petey once was. He is a clone of Petey, specifically a clone of his younger self. Lil Petey is what Petey used to be, whether he likes it or not. And after some hijinks that doesn't really amount to much other than Dogman also having custody of Lil Petey, Petey decides that he doesn't want his son to turn out the way he did. And now he's trying to fill the void of his father's abandonment so his son doesn't suffer through that same thing and consider him out to be something good and not repeat his own mistakes. That is love in its purest form. But it isn't just any love. That love that Petey feels for his son is his mother's love.
If you really want to know why I changed from bad to good, it all starts here. This is where my mom and I lived after my dad left. We arrived with almost nothing, and things were pretty tough. We didn't have much money or food, but my mom was always hopeful. We still have love, and love will last forever and ever. It was hard on both of us, and I didn't always handle it well. But my mother always forgave me, and she never gave up on me. Through it all, her love was so strong. that it survived even after she passed away, even after all of the mistakes I made. And then one day, when I least expected it, her love became something new. I didn't recognize it at first, but my mother's love was right there, staring me right in the face, still believing in me, still forgiving me, and never giving up hope. Sometimes love is so strong, it really does last forever and ever. I don't know if I can do this, kid. Of course you can. It's your story, Papa. You can color it in any way you want. I can't do it, kid. I can't love the way you love. Papa, you don't have to. Just let go of your hate.
Yay, Petey back for more punishment.
Dad,
What?
I'm done.
Done what?
I'm done hating you.
Aw, ain't you sweet. So what are you gonna do now, lovey?
No, I'm gonna forgive you.
Forgive me? Forgive me for what? I never did anything to you.
I wasn't even there. You don't get to forgive me. Where do you think you're going?
I've gotta get this kid to bed.
We're not done here.
Actually, I think we are.
Get back here.
Good night, Grandpa.
Hey, come back here and fight. Thanks a lot, Motor Brain. You wouldn't even help me at all.
Hey, my hat. Strong back. Kitty. A kitty. Strong love, kitty.
Boy, Grandpa sure got mad when you forgave him. Yeah, if I had known it would bother him so much, I would have forgiven him years ago. But we're home, Papa. Yeah. Wait here, kid. I'll be right back. Okay, let's go. Where are we going, Papa? You'll see. I've been here since I was a kid. It's pretty, right? Yeah. Is Grandma in there, Papa? No. She's here now. And she's here. Is she here too, Papa? Well, it's your story, kid. You can color it any way you want.
Petey's a tragic and heartbroken character. Petey was able to take the mistakes of his father and himself and use those to form his son into something beautiful. That's what I call a peak father. But we aren't done. We have one last character to go over. Big Jim. You think I'm fucking with you? No, we're gonna go over Big Jim seriously. Big Jim is a full-time optimist who always tries to see the good in people. He's pretty naive though, and has helped some people escape jail on accident, mainly Petey. He was taught by his parents to always try and see the good of a situation, no matter how bad things got. And there's not really much I can say about Big Jim other than just showing the comics again, which makes me sad. Big Jim doesn't really have much to him. All of this stuff has been revealed very recently, and the sequel book to Big Jim Begins hasn't come out yet. As of me recording this, it might have come out while editing, I don't know. Editing Wildo can look into that. And it just makes me sad that there's not much I can talk about with this character, because he genuinely is one of my favorite characters, if not my most favorite character ever. But hey, who am I to complain? It's Dogman, I get to read more comics, so I'm just gonna read the most important parts instead of reading the entire thing again. All you need to know is that the UFO first appeared over Big Jim's house, and the note that Grandpa got from the alien that he also threw away went to Big Jim's father's way, which led to him and Big Jim's mother thinking that Big Jim was the chosen one, which also led to Big Jim and his family searching for the ring all over the place, aka the one that Grandpa took and gave to Grace. It's going to be okay, little Jim. Just remember, when something bad happens, all you need to do is ask yourself one question. How can I turn this bad thing into something good?
Suddenly, I could see clearly. I knew my purpose. No matter how dark things got, it was my job to find the light.
Ah, great, it's raining!
Oh great, it's raining!
I don't know what you're so happy about! We're wet! We're cold! And you don't even seem to care! That we've just been stuck in jail for a years!
Sprinkles, jails aren't only made of concrete and steel. They're in our minds, too. Look around you. We're all in jails of some kind, imprisoned by the stories we tell ourselves. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart. I've made too many mistakes. But Sprinkles, freedom is in our minds, too.
Yeah, well, that's easy for you to say. You've never suffered.
When I was little, my mother would say to me, "Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." New beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. Yet, in these dark places, when we think that maybe we have been buried, actually, we've been planted.
We didn't have any extra rooms, so I made a special place in my office. It has a warm bed, a blanket, some paper to draw on, and if you need anything, I'll be right over there. Do you have any questions? Are you a helper? Yes, anyone can be a helper. They can? Certainly. Even you.
And so, on that day, I became a helper too. Because sometimes, the thing we need most is the thing we must give.
Dogman is a book series that is genuinely full of surprises and has some of the most insane shit I've ever seen. It makes no sense. That's just it. It makes no sense at all. It's about a dog head on a man's body, an anthropomorphic cat with a son who is a clone of that cat, a big purple cat, police chief, cops, aliens, and in the end it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You know why? Because it all comes together to make something beautiful, no matter how ridiculous, no matter how nonsensical. It makes something beautiful. It makes something enchanting. That's what I love about Dogman. It's simple and yet complex at the same time. I'm glad I was able to have the chance of experiencing these comics again. And I'm glad I was able to maybe get somebody interested into reading them, because I probably did miss a lot of stuff. I did probably skip over some things that you may find interesting. And if you do, please, just buy the books or find a way to read them and just start reading them. But we aren't even done yet. There's still more that I want to cover about Dogman. More specifically, the movie and the community. The community is just full of so many talented people that I want to get into. I want to interview people from it. And hopefully I can in the bonus video. That's right, Dogman bonus video. In the video, I'm going to try and cover the movie and the community of Dogman and the many, many things in it. The talented people, all the art in it, the alternative universes. There's so much there that I want to cover because it's such an interesting community. So I hope y'all join me next time in the Dogman bonus video. Goodbye.
Rest in peace.